Hi everybody, welcome to a research video. This is a very relaxed video where I research something new that I haven't looked at before usually. And I just thought I'd take you with me as we research and learn new things. I got the idea from when I did the Vlogmas thing where I researched something new every day. Somebody on YouTube asked me during the Vlogmas series to have a look at Rachmaninoff's The Bells, and I thought that would be a very good thing to do for New Year's Eve, maybe? It sounds like a bell type thing. You know, the bells, New Year's Eve, all that. But I was too tired after doing Vlogmas to do anything on New Year's Eve. Rachmaninoff The Bells. Let's have a look what it's about. The bells, in Russian kolokola, oh it's written in English kolokola, is a choral symphony by Sergei Rachmaninoff, written in 1913 and premiered in St. Petersburg on the 30th of November that year under the composer's baton, so he conducted it. The words are from the poem The Bells by Edgar Allan Poe. I do like Edgar Allan Poe. It's a heavily onomatopoeic poem. Ooh, this is interesting. And here we have a picture of the first two pages of Poe's handwritten manuscript for The Bells, written in 1848. Let's have a look if we can find a copy of the poem. Edgar Allan Poe, The Bells. Hear the sledges with the bells, silver bells! What a world of merriment their melody foretells! How they tinkle, tinkle, tinkle in the icy air of night, while the stars that oversprinkle all the heavens seem to twinkle, keeping time, 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 in a sort of runic rhyme, to the tintinnabulation that so musically wells from the bells, 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 from the jingling and the tinkling of the bells. And then we get into hear the mellow wedding bells, golden bells, what a world of happiness their harmony foretells, through the balmy air of night, how they ring out their delight. Oh, and then we get hear the loud alarm bells, brazen bells, what, tale of terror, and then we have hear the tolling of the bells, iron bells. I see. So we have the sledge bells when you're a child playing in the snow, then you have the wedding bells when you're an adult, then we have the alarm bells. I suppose it could be of death, it could be an ambulance, it could be anything, it's an alarm bell, isn't it? And then you have the tolling of the bells, that's death. It's how bells signify different parts of a human's life, or different points in a human's life. The first movement is about the silver sleigh bells, the second movement is about the mellow wedding bells, the third is about the loud alarm bells, and the fourth is about the mournful iron bells. Throughout the work, the traditional Gregorian melody Dies Irae is used frequently throughout. Dies Irae is the Latin sequence attributed to either Thomas of Celano or the Franciscans, or the Latino Malabranca Orsini, lector at the Dominican Studium at Santa Sabina, the forerunner of the Day of Wrath. It's been used by composers throughout time to symbolise death. I've just been given a tea. It's scored for soprano, tenor, baritone, soloists, mixed choir, and an orchestra of piccolo, flutes, oboes, coranglays, clarinets, bass clarinet, bassoons, contrabassoon, horns, trumpets, trombones, tuba, timpani, four tubular bells. You got to, haven't you? Glockenspiel, triangle, tambourine, snare drum. So already we've got these bell-like pieces, instruments, tubular bells, the glockenspiel, the triangle, the tambourine, cymbals. What else? Tam-tam, celesta. Let's have a look at the piece then. Rachmaninoff The Bells. Okay, I'll stop it there. What I noticed is that there are these skipping rhythms. Long, short, short, long, short, short, long, short, short, long. And this alternating thing here you get. Coupled with the bells, something I talk a lot about when I looked at Prokofiev's Troika and Tchaikovsky's The Nutcracker. This combination of plucked strings and bells, and the celeste is kind of an embodiment of both those things. I'll add at this stage you get a lot of high woodwind as well. I haven't got an orchestrated version here, it's just a piano score. It's difficult to analyse where the instruments are. Score. That's quite difficult to read, it's very small. That looks like it says triangle. That interjects. Actually, I like how it's not that regulated. So it's like hit, rest, rest, hit, rest, hit, rest, hit, rest, hit, rest, tremolo, hit, rest from what I can read, and then they've got some other rhythms in. And then we have the skipping thing again. Cha-cha-long, cha-cha-long, cha-cha-long. Something that happens in Puccini's La Boheme as well. When it goes, something that happens in The Snowman as well, when they're running to meet the snowman. It's like skippy strings. Then the woodwind melody has been now, well, I don't know if it's called, you call it a melody, it's like an interjection, has now been taken over by the celeste. And I think the woodwind are now playing what the triangle was playing, from first glance. I really like how that built up there. I think you had what the strings were playing, the skippy rhythm, were then given then over to the flutes. Yeah, there's a kind of like a passing on thing. We've got some similar rhythmic gestures going on here. As you can see, you've got this long shut, then you've got this semiquaver fragment here, then it's long shut, which you have like an retrograde of that here, that rhythmic feature. Shut, long, long shut. It's almost like the dashing of snow across the instruments, or like the resonance of the bells across the instruments, if that makes sense. You know, when you hit a bell, it's like ding, shimmer. It's like a sprinkly, twinkly shimmer for this first bell. When a high flute gets involved across an orchestra and it builds up, it just adds this ring to it, like a ring, shiny ring to the sound, outlines the sound. Then we combine the hitting of a bell in the celeste, that's how it works, with the pitching of a harp, which has this sort of resonant quality similar to a bell. So you have a combination of pits and hitting a bell, and interjected with a bit of triangle. It kind of adds this sort of twinkly, shimmery colour to a bell-like timbre. The harmony, without being able to analyse specifically the pitches because this score is so blurry, but you can hear a kind of modulation moment. The harmony is shifting. It doesn't let you settle, or it sort of establishes one sort of preponderance of a harmony and then it kind of moves. Oh, we can see we've got 4 flats here and then we move quickly, and we've got some sharps and no flats in this bar. And it also changes the time signature, so the pulse shifts as well. Let's skip to where the choir come in. Well, we have column response between the soloist and the chorus choir. It's very word painting, and because it's a sleigh ride, I think there's a lot of what has become cliched associations with the sound of wintry, Christmassy time in classical music, or at least winter fun times in classical music that we've now today associated with Christmas. Mellow wedding bells, let's have a look. I'm expecting more of a tubular bell. Let's see. Oh, come on, this sounds so wedding-like. Okay, here we have more romantic motion. We've got lots more legato, more strings, more high sweeping strings. Very cliched of romantic music, especially you get a lot of that in Hollywood cinema, like classic Hollywood. You get this sort of sound. The Hollywood cinema is probably inspired by this sort of sound. We've got this moving pizzicato underneath, keeping the motion of the music, where everything sits on top of that. And you've also got like the strings combined with the woodwind, especially the oboe, and the two sort of have this particular timbre that I know has been copied a lot in classic Hollywood music, especially when there's a romantic situation going on. Have a listen. And we've got chromaticism as well. We've got D sharp, E, E sharp, F sharp. So let's look at the bells in this bit. I can hear a tubular bell. Oh, didn't I say they'd be using tubular bells? Where are the tubular bells? I can hear them. This must be it here. It's kind of just like a resonant dong dong, but it's combined with this in the timpani, this sort of trill, tremolo. It's like a harmonic dong, because you've got the D in the tubular bell and you've got the D an octave below, so it's quite warm. So that's that one. Let's move on to the next one. Okay, so in the alarm bells, oh, this is quite exciting. You can hear like a muted brass. It adds this sort of, oh, how do I describe this? It kind of adds a bit of noise to the sound. You know what I mean? It's like it makes the sound, the tone, it's not as pure. It's kind of muddied a bit and distorted, overblown, I think. Maybe there's some of that going on. Combined with the bass clarinet, which I hear somewhere. Must be bass clarinet. I don't know, it's hard to read this score. Maybe they're on bass clarinet by now. Is that what B stands for? Clarinet bass? Oh, you know, bass clarinet. And you know, when you hear like an alarm bell, it kind of is ringing and deafening. So I think there's this aspect which I quite like, is sort of adding other instruments to give it that alarm sound. Okay, so already when we hear this, like the woodwind, it's kind of this repeated ding, 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 which kind of does sound a bit like an alarm. There's that repeated piercing pitch that just gnaws at you. We've got some tremolos, tremolando here and here, but alternating between two pitches or two chords. And the brass are coming in as well, and they're adding to it. It's just like an alarm. It's word painting, I think. That bit, dun 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 dun, nino nino nino. It's like that, isn't it? So we have this falling interval here, dun 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 dun, which gives the illusion of an alarm sound. And then we have the frantic woodwind and this, again, this tremolando in the strings, which can kind of symbolise stress and panic. I mean, word painting again. Oh, I love that bit. Oh, so much. That's so good. So we have this change of pulse that you can hear. What is he doing? It's like a hemiola. No, is it? No, it's not. Yeah, it is. Sorry, it is. It's when these come in here, playing these quavers, and these quavers combined with the triplets. It's this hemiola effect. So it's like da 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 dun 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 dun. So it's dun 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 dun. Do you know what I mean? Okay, and I'll just skip to the next movement. Beautiful cor anglais melody, it sounds like. Oh, I love that melody, that's gorgeous. I'm talking over it, but this is a video about the music, so feel free to just listen to the music. Deep, thick chords in the strings, and we have this lovely, rich cor anglais melody. minimalist music here. You can hear the dun 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 dun. I can hear the death toll march almost. I wonder if that's a Dies Irae or something, but there's this kind of march, like dirge-like feel, these falling chords. Dun, 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 dun. Something in this reminds me a bit of also, you get that in dun, dun. Is it the song Summertime? Summertime. Different mood obviously, but it's this kind of relaxing, slowing, sleepy thing. Sleepy music. Where are the bells? I think I've said enough about this piece. I'll end it there. I'll just check the Dies Irae melody. So it is that. One of those falling chords I mentioned earlier. I think that's what it was. And maybe the alarm bell bit earlier that I was talking about. No, it's Nino, Nino, Nino. Maybe that was also the Dies Irae bit. Something to think about anyway. Anyway, thank you for watching. This has just been a bit about Rachmaninoff's The Bells. Thanks. If you have any questions or comments, let me know, and if you want me to research anything in particular, let me know as well. Bye.